And as you pass your awareness down the body, let me know if you find any energies that should not be there.
And so light expands. You feel light when it expands out. But something is shrinking in. Started in my head. And everything is like pulling in. I'm trying to start with my head, and now it's my whole body feeling it.
Okay. And so let's connect very deeply with that feeling of shrinking in. It's like something's trying to pull it in. And as you connect with that energy, does it feel like this is a conscious attachment? Or does it feel like something else?
I'm not sure. Now focusing in on my hand. So it went from my head kind of down. Now it's all kind of like moved to my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there. It's in my arms, but really, really in my hand. Like they're super heavy, not heavy, but like dense.
Mm-hmm.
Or
So if you could feel into this energy and give it a color, what color would it be?
it's radiating all colors.
Okay. So let's tune in with the higher self, connecting directly with Julie's higher self. What is this energy that she's feeling radiate throughout her body?
Divine energy.
Did you say divine energy?
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that this divine energy is doing?
Activating
Mm-hmm. And what is it that this divine energy is activating?
her power.
What is her power?
Her grace. I don't know what it means. Grace.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean by grace? What is that activating?
Intensifying energy. I'm resisting.
Say that again. It's like it's a little bit muffled when you first start to speak.
It's resisting.
That's much better.
It's she's resisting.
Okay. And why is it that she's resisting?
She's scared.
Mm-hmm. What is the fear that she's feeling?
She doesn't know if it's light or dark.
Mm-hmm. Tell her exactly what this energy is doing for her today.
Coming in to help her. we are
What?
here. We are here with her. We are coming in to bring forth truth for her to begin the transformation of a new shift for her awareness.
And tell me who it is that's here with us today.
Britt, Britain,
Mm-hmm.
Brighton, Britain. I don't know this name.
Mm-hmm. Is this one of her guides?
Fellow friend,
Fellow friend?
fellow friend,
Mm-hmm.
an acquaintance.
And so tell me about this new shift in her awareness. What does she need to know about that?
That it's time and she's ready. We have anticipated this session for a long time, or it will be one that will move her forward into new awareness, new protection, new thought processing, upgrades, familiarity. She will begin to recognize her power in herself, in her abilities to bring forth light to the universes that will have a ripple effect to change hearts, change patterns, change DNA, to bring forth truths that have never been shared, to help those who are struggling with their faith, their beliefs. She was chosen. She is not new. She is a very old spirit who has been veiled from her true identity for the purpose of her protection, where she will change the world with her heart. It is time for her to not be afraid anymore, but to stand in this truth where we cannot reveal all to her at this time, but we feel that she needs to learn pieces of who she is at this time for her to be able to continue her mission to move forward, where she has been patient, waiting for when she was ready, trusting in the plan, trusting in Him giving her absolute best in her trials and circumstances that she has been given. She has been targeted. From those who know who she is, we have been here protecting her, helping her. We are showing her past clips of when she knew, she heard us, felt us, so that she may trust, to know and not doubt that it was us there protecting her, as so many have tried to deceive. She knows us. We are familiar to her. We are close. We are family. We are part of the beginning. She accepted her mission with enthusiasm for her love, her life, and all those who live is her gift that she wanted to come and share with this planet to help them move forward and help them feel loved, help them feel connection, help them to not feel alone, help them to have hope, help them to believe in themselves, help them to not judge, to know their divinity, their light inside of them, to help them see that light, to not be afraid, to be who they are, to not be afraid, to open their minds to deeper knowledge, greater possibilities, joy. She was chosen because of where she came from, who she belongs to, where she has been, where she is going. She will be a key part in the plan. We have opened her mind in cycles to this plan, and she just entered a new cycle. She couldn't have entered this new cycle without the opposition she has had to endure. For this is knowledge that she needed to gain. This is discernment she needed to learn. For her mission requires that she experience great confusion, great trials, great opposition, where in that she has gained grounding. We have sent her brother, Scott, as a protection to her, as a guide to help her, to remind her of the things she knows, to keep her balanced. For her gifts can open doors to outside influences that may pull her to places that aren't safe. We have put people in her life to help her in her life that she trusts at a very deep level, that are here to help keep her balanced, grounded, safe. We have also allowed those who have been put in her life to also not test her, but challenge her. For those who are against her, know these gifts and use them to manipulate and confuse her. So we have allowed, and so has she, for those playing a role of also protection, but also to challenge her so that she may grow in her strength, her courage, her abilities, her divinity. For without the opposite ends of the spectrum, she would not be challenged enough to get to where she needs to be. She knows this. She agreed to this, and it will continue to be shown to her, and she will continue to remember as her veil is thinning, as she is getting upgrades, as time is moving forward in this dimension closer to the return of Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior of mankind.
Very good. So let's start out. Help her to understand her mission. What is it from this point moving forward is her mission in this life?
We cannot reveal all at this time.
What can you share with her today?
Her mission is to reverse what has been done to this planet, as she is part of the reversal.
And how is it that she will be doing that?
She already is, and it will intensify or become greater as she moves into her divinity, her knowledge of her, where she came from, who she is, where she's been, and where she is going. These are important messages for her to ask and to learn and to keep asking where she has been, where is going. Those two are very important. And when I say where she is going, it's encompassing in all of it. It's her where she is, who she is, as in her higher self, as in where she started, because it's all encompassing. How she started and who she is not a coincidence. And not to just focus on her higher self, but how she started.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. What can you share with her today about where she's been and how this all started for her? What does she need to know?
We can tell her, but she won't believe us until she's ready to believe us. She has to get there. She is from the beginning. she is connected to Source and the family, and her divinity is majestic in nature, and her gifts are limitless. She's hesitating to say these things
Mm-hmm.
because she does not believe them, as we have said before.
So, what I would like for her to do is we're simply just going to allow this information to come forward today, and she will have the ability to think about the information that's coming through at a later time. Right now, it's just important for her to allow this information to flow without trying to interrupt it. We're not going to think about it. We're just going to simply allow it to come through, and you can think about it when you listen back. So, moving back to she's from the beginning. She's very gifted and majestic in her energy. Keep telling her more about that. What else does she need to know?
She puts others on pedestals when she doubts herself. She looks to them for guidance and truth. This has been a tool of those who are against her from the beginning, because of her humility in herself. It is easy for them to get her to believe that she doesn't possess some of these gifts and qualities that she admires and knows, that she puts on pedestals. She is starting to see and realize that she has these gifts. She is accepting them. She is using them. She is starting to trust them more every day and finding her power. And this will continue as just as planned. We will not allow those who are against her to challenge her to a place where she would fail. She has already succeeded in her mission. She just needs to believe it.
So, what does she need to know about where she's going?
She's been to worlds without end, and she is going to worlds without end. If she focuses on the light and where she's been and where she is going, she will know she has already been there. And if she brings that in to her awareness in this dimension, she will not be stopped, for she will know that she can access those places in this dimension and bring in those truths and those bodies and those experiences and those powers that she already possesses. She thinks, she has a belief that she hasn't arrived there, and she is afraid that she is being deceived and won't be able to arrive. She needs to understand that these fears are not helping her. They are not from us. They are from those who are against her, because they are actually afraid of her. If she continues on the path that she's on towards the truths that she knows, we have been showing her signs to help her to know, to trust herself, to go with the energy, to continue to move, to not be afraid. Every time she sees those numbers, 111, it is to remind her to keep going, to remind her we are with her, to remind her to trust herself, to not doubt the impressions, knowledge, thoughts coming in, to go with the energy. She goes with the energy, and she is one who is not afraid to what you call quick start. But after she allows in the negative thoughts and she doubts herself after the fact, she needs to work on the self-talk after she experiences where she was led. She is not afraid to jump in and to follow intuition. This is a gift of hers. It's the aftermath. It's the after the experience that she allows in other voices and other thoughts to make her believe what she did was wrong, or she made the wrong choice, or she was deceived. She needs to trust herself more. There is a reason why she doesn't doubt herself, why she moves faster than most of those on this planet, where she needs to be able to do this to succeed at her mission and what she came down here to do. If she allows in the energies that are against her to doubt herself, it not thwarts, it slows down her progression or her movement of moving forward. If she learns to not allow these energies into her thoughts, she will be unstoppable and she will move at a pace toward growth, ascension, faster than she can imagine. She will be unstoppable. And this is why they try so hard to come in when she gives them the opportunity with her self-doubt. This is why we have placed those in her life to help her see herself as they see her, not as she sees herself. You are one of those people we have sent to help her come to this knowledge. You are one who she trusts, and you trust her. You knew each other and trusted each other before this all began. You are a key part in her mission, in getting her to where she needs to be. We have sent others, but you are one of the most important ones.
Amazing. Oh, thank you for that. And I agree. I've been wanting this gal to stand in her power for a while. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what she needs to know moving forward. When those negative thoughts come in, when those energies are around her that are trying to manipulate her and bring her down, what does she need to do to shut them out and stay in her power?
She needs to believe in herself, in what we are telling her, in what others are telling her who she trusts. She needs to stay grounded. She needs to find that power within her that's already there and allow it to come forth and not suppress it anymore. She has buried it because of her fears in others seeing her as someone who thinks she is better than them. She knows she's not better than them. In fact, it's the opposite. She sees more light and goodness in others than she sees in herself because of her love for them. She needs to love herself just as much as she loves them. She deserves that love. She needs to accept that love, and she needs to allow them into her heart space where she believes them and what they are saying in regard to her. For Satan has tried to tell her that she is nobody, insignificant, will fail, and doesn't have it in her to conquer over her self-doubts.
What do you want her to know today about her power, her strength, who she really is?
So she has recently learned what power really is, and it has been taught wrong on your planet. For power on your planet is taught as being over somebody else, making them feel less, not your equal, that you have power over them. That power is pride. Power is control. She has recently learned that there is no power in power, and that the way that we see power is different. There is no power in power. It is powerless. She knows this now. It has helped her to understand that by standing in her power, she is not trying to control others. She is not trying to be better than them. She is not trying to belittle them or make them feel less than her. She has an understanding now that power is in regard to yourself and your higher self, is bringing in the knowledge, the truth, the experiences of your life to help you to come to an awareness of who you really are as a divine being of light, of source, a daughter that is loved. And when you feel that connection to that love and you feel that light come in, that is the power we are talking about. That is unstoppable power. For love will conquer all. For love will change the world. For love will transform her and this planet. For love is the ultimate power. You are in the upside down world. The upside down world is flipped. Everything has been flipped. Power is not as we teach. There are so many upside down things that you are experiencing on this planet that have been flipped. It needs to be turned back to the original state when it was created, and she will be part of that flipping of energy back to the world that is upright and not upside down. When you are learning and you hear something that doesn't feel right to you, remember it's probably the opposite. Remember it's probably flipped. Remember that they have absconded much of the light that originated from such things as the number 666 or other things that you see as dark that were originally light. Light words, light definitions, light. It's something she can't put a word to. But think of it as everything that you have been taught that doesn't feel right. It's because it is not right. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Very much. Thank you. So, talk to me about the truths. You mentioned at the beginning that there were truths that needed to come forward in today's session. What are those truths that you'd like to share with us today?
What you guys call weak on this planet is not weakness. Another upside down word. When somebody calls you weak, you should see that as humility. When somebody attacks you for being too emotional or too trusting or too open, these are gifts of the Spirit. These are gifts of the Savior. These are gifts that help you to see truth. Don't allow them to manipulate you into thinking that you are beneath them because you are open and trusting. There are truths that need to still be sought out and seeked and understood. And those who are seeking them are those who others would call misled, crazy, weak, naive. These words do not appropriately describe the type of person who is seeking truth, lowly at heart, but also poor in spirit, meek. These are the flip side of those words. Start telling yourself these things, for they are the pathway to godhood. They are the map to ascension. Without meekness, without coming to a place on your knees in humility and being poor in spirit, without empathy, without being able to trust, you would be closed off from knowledge and truth that this planet needs at this time. You are needed more than you know. You are those who are open and awake. You must discern, for there are many counterfeits on this planet. Use your gifts to learn discernment and learn to trust yourself and your gut, for it will not lead you astray. There are those helping you. This message is not just for her. I am speaking to the masses.
Wonderful. Very good. So, you said that she was here to bring forth the light. What does she need to know or understand about that to help her move forward and bring forward that light?
She needs to learn to stand in her light and not get triggered. We are very proud of the progress she has made. She is learning to recognize manipulation, untruth, when those who are against her bring in information that is not true to her character or true to her identity. She is rejecting that energy. She is learning to stay in a safe, grounding place. And there is more light coming in. And with that light, she uses it to create more light. If she feels love and she believes she is loved and she is connected to source in a flowing manner of feeling that love, she then pushes it or gives it back to this planet that goes out and brings more light. This is being done among many of you who are on this path as we are transitioning and shifting, as the planet is shifting and transitioning, so are you. You are keeping up. This is already happening and will continue to get brighter as you continue to accept love and to feel love and to believe in yourself and believe in humanity. The judgment of this planet is beyond the level and need to be corrected. They are those who are not for light on this planet are using judgments on others to keep the light out. Watch your thoughts. Be careful how you judge, for even those that you believe might be astray or might be on the wrong path, they could actually be on the path that gets them to the right place. They're just taking a different route. Have compassion, have understanding, and allow them their journey, allow them their experience. For yours is not like theirs, it is for a greater purpose. If we can give you one big message today, it would be stop the judgment, unite, stop thinking that you know what's best for them or that you know who they are. You need to understand that it is an individual journey and you need to focus on yourself. You can inspire, uplift, and be an example, but do not try to control or judge their journey or their situation. This is very important information at this time, for so many people on your planet are living in fear, and this fear is leading them to unrighteous dominion over those in their circle and those who they see on social media, on television. It has an effect, even if it is through your thoughts or your devices. You need to watch your thoughts. You need to have more love, for love is the only way. Love is the answer. It is what creates light. It is what heals. It is what changes frequencies and vibrations. It is the ultimate power, not control.
Wonderful. So, how do we stay out of fear when we hear that as we move through the shift, things are going to become more difficult, more challenging, more chaotic? How does one stay out of fear and stay focused on the reality they wish to be a part of?
This is why we have sent those who are doing the work now. Those who have not done the work will have more fear than those who are doing the work. People who came to start their journey sooner, to be awakened sooner, to experience trials and oppression that will help them come to a place of fearlessness. They will help those who have not done the work. Those people that we have sent are doing the work. They include Julie, they include you, they include so many others. You will be the light source. You will be someone they look towards when they have lost all hope, when they have lost all will to survive. You will show them that they can do it. You will help them see the power within themselves because you've been there. You will help them to turn towards source, to turn towards love, to trust in the plan, to have faith in the fears, the unknown, that there is a greater and that there will be light, light beyond anything you can experience because of the work that is being done all around the world with those you call light workers, which be careful with using. It can come across as we are better than you or we are above you. Be careful with the words you choose and the terminology that you are using. Or light workers can create a belief system that is not accurate to the actual belief. Perhaps you could say you are here to help share love and spread love and to create light and to help others see the light within themselves. I don't know a word you may use or could use, but light workers is starting to take a negative connotation on your planet and is, I just am showing her people who are struggling with their faith or struggling with their light. They believe that they are less than those who claim to be light workers. They believe that They are, star seeds is another word. These are words taking on whole new belief systems on your planet. They are being flipped. The dark side is using them in the upside down world, and they are going out into your planet. For those who don't understand what they mean, they don't see it as a positive thing. They see it as you are better than me because you are a star seed or you are a light worker. In order for this planet to unite and for them, for you all to feel equally loved by Source, you must help them understand this. You must be careful with your words or change the definition of them and put out a new ripple light energy behind them, for it has been tainted by the dark side. There are other words you need to look at as well, but these two are very important to recognize at this time.
Maybe we can call ourselves love spreaders instead.
That is a good option.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So, how can we help those that are struggling with their faith and their beliefs? Even those who are struggling to believe in themselves. How do we help? We help them.
Open your mouth, open your heart, open your mind, be open and be aware as you go about your days, recognizing those in need and not being afraid to share that love you have to offer them. This will intensify as we continue down the road that is ahead of you, that will have some hard things ahead. As we know, Julie does not want to focus on anything dark at this time. Neither do we. We want this message to be of light. So we want to say there is hard things coming, difficult things, but that the main focus is what is to come afterwards. And through those hard times, more and more of the people on this planet will become less hopeful. They will become more in despair. There will be more sadness and pain. And we say, open your heart to them, reach out to them, open your mouth, share your experiences, share your knowledge, share your trials. For in trials come great growth and great hope, for you see that you survived them and you can help them to know that they too can survive them. For Julie has wanted to give up many times. And as you say, throw the towel in, but she is a fighter and she has been through much worse and much more than this. And she knows this. And because of that, she has a fighting spirit. She has a warrior character, she has a warrior attitude. We want to say, when we say warrior, that is also a word that has been mistaught on your planet. Some people see it as, I will not be bullied and they will not destroy me and I will conquer all. If there is light attached to those phrases, it is good. But there are those attaching the opposite to those phrases, and it is causing those to be deceived and bringing in warrior energy that is not correct. We say warrior energy connected to the light is at the base, at the surface, it is love. A warrior has more love to offer and give than anyone with anger attached, or not just anger but pride. There are many negative emotions connected to the word warrior that need to be restored and reversed. This is what we explained in the beginning. She is here to reverse a lot of these things and flip it back and bring it back to its originality, for she sees the pain connected to these patterns. She sees the hurt connected to these words. She sees the belief systems that are wrong, that have been absconded, that have been twisted. She is here to bring it back to its originality, to reverse these things, to put it out there for those to hear, to watch what you have been taught, and to understand the truest meaning, the light meaning in them, and what the light side teaches.
Talk to her a little bit about her ability to see those patterns, because she and her brother Scott are amazing at finding these different patterns and things and being able to put them together. What is that ability and how is it helping her?
They have known each other for a very, very long time. They chose to come down together in this family to work together to bring forth truth using their different gifts to create, to put the pieces of the puzzle together piece by piece. As one puts a piece in, the other follows suit, but it takes both of their gifts and both of their knowledge and their experiences that they have had throughout eternities to come to these truths. We said before that they trust each other very much, for they have had many experiences together where they have built this trust. They are working together to bring forth these truths and these patterns to help those who are lost, those who are deceived, those who are closed off. There are many on your planet who are giving up, who have lost hope, or who are so afraid that they are throwing everything out. Both of these two get pulled into these forces those who are against them, who are trying to pull them. And when one gets pulled, the other brings the one back. And when the other gets pulled, they bring them back. And this was for a reason, that they were sent here together for both of their missions are very vital to the transitioning and reversal of this planet. They are starting to recognize some of these truths and some of these about themselves and why they are connected. And there is more, there is so much more. But like we said, this is what they were ready for today. And Scott is working with Julie in this session. His higher self is here. They work together often to help their awareness and their ascension together as he is experiencing this session in spirit. It is activating him as well. It is as activating her.
Wonderful. Very good. So she said that she had a dream last night about Scott, and he had a rose, and he said to her that your party starts at 9. What was that dream about?
This is the party. There are many of us here experiencing this session. The message of Scott is in this session that he wanted to share with her because his higher self is here. He wants to be a part of her coming to her truest self and her divinity, and wants to be a part of it, as she has had very negative experiences on her birthday. We felt it appropriate to give her a birthday party with all of us who care for her and want her to see herself as we do. This is the gift we are giving her today. This is her birthday present from all of us to her, and he is here with us, that she may know she is loved, that she may know who she is, that she may know that she has the ability to change hearts and change this planet. But without her, without her, none of us would be where we are. She is the reason. But she is telling us that we have gotten her to where she is, that it is a group effort, and she wouldn't be here without the love that we have shown her, the help we have shown her. These are messages she is telling us at this time. That this party that we are having in her behalf is a party of love that we are all sharing together for each other, because we are all so grateful for each other and for the experiences we've had together and for the learning we have had. We are family. We are family. We are very close. We We come from long, long ago, and we have been trying to give her this message. She has not allowed us in. Today, she was ready, and she knew that the party was coming, and she accepted it. And she isn't afraid anymore.
Beautiful. So you mentioned that Scott's higher self is here with us today.
Yes.
And yeah, does Scott's higher self have any messages that he wants to bring through for Julie, for Scott? Anything important that needs to be shared today?
He said, I wore a tux for you because I know how much you love when we get to dress up. He did it for me. And I know how much he hates to even put on a suit. So this was his way of showing me that how much he truly loves me and cares for me, that he would dress up for the party. Um, he just wants me to know how much he loves me and how grateful he is for helping him to awake in this dimension, to believe in himself. Uh, I want him to believe that he is and was Socrates. And I don't know if that's that he actually was Socrates, but just that he has that ability, that type of knowledge, that he is amazing. And we're just going back and forth with our love for each other and our gratitude for helping each other along this path. And I just feel like it's like I'm at my birthday party, and it's like we're all rejoicing in this, what just has occurred in this session, and that it came through, and that he is so happy that I'm finally listening and allowing this to come through and believing that this could be me.
Hmm. So let's see if Scott's higher self can verify if he was actually a composer in a past life, because he has a strong connection to music in this life. What can they share about that?
So I'm actually seeing him right now leading a symphony. He's the conductor. And he's very good. It's like I'm seeing what his power is coming through him leading this orchestra. And oh wow, the Ode to Joy just came in. He's conducting the Ode to Joy. Did Scott compose? Did he play a part in this music from before? He with Father, with Source, with the knowledge from other experiences, has composed many a great works, including being a part of the healing sounds, healing vibration of the notes created to compose these great works. This is the way he expresses his love and shows his love for Source, for humanity. He wrote these and participated in creating them as love notes, high vibration sounds for those who are suffering. He wrote them because of his experiences on other worlds. He is a humble servant of the Lord and wanted them to be brought through on this planet without any recognition, because he knows that they didn't come from him, they came from Source. He was the vessel. He does not take any credit nor wants any credit. He is reconnecting to these sounds and music and their stories to bring them forth to the world at this time, to help bring healing to them, and will continue to do so. And he will soon be writing and composing again as he brings in other bodies and other experiences from other worlds and other time periods. This is just the beginning. This will help heal. This will bring light for the planet. This will, she's getting distracted because of what she is feeling in her body at this time.
What is that she's feeling?
There is a heaviness, or there's many who are here, or it is she hasn't experienced this before and is trying to understand what is happening, because she is not all the way in her body, but there are others. She is feeling Scott and his higher self. It is, for her, it is a lot right now. It is new experience. It is like 1,000 people are holding her hand.
Wow.
It's intense for her, and it is hard for her to focus right now.
Do you want to take just a moment, take a few nice deep breaths, and we'll ask the guides and the angels that are here with us to help her balance out that energy, balance out that flow of energy so it's not so intense.
You should know that there is a reunion going on, and there are many, many people here, and she is feeling all of their energies.
Wow. Why is this day so important, this particular session? Why are there so many with us today?
It is a turning point. It is a greater awakening. It is the perfect time because of what is to come, and it needed to happen. today and she was ready. And this reunion will be something that she will never forget and she will use as she moves forward in her power, in herself.
Tell me how you're feeling.
It's just so many energies. I haven't experienced it. I can't explain it.
Yeah, just take a minute.
I can't. I feel as if they are all a part of me or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. It's just a lot.
It's just a lot of energy. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Use that breath for me, just breathing deeply because that breath can help flush the energy through. Just
Yes,
breathing
good,
deeply
good advice.
and slowly. And just sit there in that energy for a moment.
I feel like I'm a bird who could fly away because of, but because of the people with me holding me up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Yeah, they could just lift you right up and out of
yeah,
here, couldn't they?
it's, that's exactly it. Like it's taking a lot for me to stay there, but it's not. I'm
Yeah.
here, but
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if this particular day that we're doing this session on is important because this is a big eclipse day, a lot of energy. Is there any significance to this day or no?
yes, the there's an alignment happening. That's why there was so many obstacles to getting to this session. She almost canceled it again because her spirit knew what was going to occur and she was resistant to know if she was ready. And she allowed in some fear, not fears, wondering if she should push off the date, but we knew she was ready. She knew she was ready, and everything aligned. And because of the spiritual alignments in the galaxies with the planets, with the there are have been an ongoing solar flares because of some of these occurrences. Everything aligned to allow some of these energies to come through. Her knowledge of this is not there. She doesn't have any knowledge of this, but we are trying to show her what we mean. And there is great geometry involved. There is the numbers are involved that she has been seeing because she has been recognizing them. It has opened up. I am afraid to say gateway, for it is also a word that has been flipped. But gateway, use it, the word and terminology as you were originally taught it in the light in the light. But it created a gateway. The numbers, her awareness of seeing them and connecting to us, and knowing that we were trying to give her this message. Every time she saw the 111, she would ask, "What are you trying to tell me? Who is there? What message am I to receive?" And because of this pre-work that she did, the acknowledgement, the awareness led to this experience. If she had not recognized us being there or the message we were trying to bring through, this would not have occurred today, because she would not have believed it. Her awareness is growing. She is recognizing these patterns. And because of that, we were allowed to come through at this time to have the birthday party that she has been waiting for, this reunion, this gathering of those who love her, who she loves, who have been with her for a very long time, who she recognizes their energies, who she trusts their energies, which is why this session and message is so important at this time, because she will not doubt it, because she felt the love and the comfort and the recognition and the remembrance of those who have surrounded her and those who have been with her. For those of you seeing numbers, patterns, don't doubt yourself. Take note, write it down, make record, acknowledge it, for if you do so, you will have more experiences like this, because you are not doubting that it is happening, or that we are actually coming to give you a message and that we are here with you. She did not doubt. And because of that, she saw them more and more and more every single day. There was not a day in the last few weeks she has not been in tune and not seen those numbers, because she was acknowledging us and them, and she was aware, and she wants to know why I sound like a robot.
I would say that it's probably the high frequency that's coming in.
We don't understand how we sound, but we find it funny that she thinks that we sound funny, and she doesn't understand why we are talking like this. And it's coming through like this because this is not the way she talks.
Yes. Well, she's not speaking though, you are.
Correct.
So let's go back to her role of reversing things done on this
Can
planet. Oh,
I
yes.
want to make note of, it's like she is reading almost a typewriter, why her head keeps going back and forth as she is bringing forth this information, which is why it sounds more robotic, because it is being fed to her like a typewriter, if that makes sense.
I see. So almost like she's just reading the information as it flows in.
Yes, that is how she is understanding it.
Okay. Very good. Very good. What does she need to know about her role of reversing things on this planet? Anything specific that will help her in that work?
To continue to have your awareness when you hear something that doesn't sit right with you, ask us what the truest meaning or what it actually means. and what the light definition of that is, and then share it with those around you and help bring it back to its originality, because there are so many untruths on your planet, and they have been flipped and absconded. And the originality, just like the Wi-Fi in the first session you did, that was just the beginning of reversal. As pure energy and pure light needs to be reset and introduced to this planet, it needs to be reversed and taken back to its originality. It should not be, it is not the way it is now. It is so much purer, it is so much cleaner. And with that, the history of this planet, the education, the things being taught in schools, all of it is upside down. That is the only way, the best way to describe it. It needs to be flipped back upright, just as the pyramid, just as the symbols that she saw with the triangle. You have the triangle with the Illuminati. It's one-sided. You need to flip it back. You need the bottom half, just as in the Enneagram, the sacred geometry. It is the flip of what needs to be flipped, with love at the top and love at the bottom, and not the pride that the others want you to believe in the triangle. Look at all of the triangles in things that have been taught on your planet, with the food pyramid, there is more. Do your research. You need to flip it. It needs the bottom half, if that makes sense. And she is going to reveal truth of what that looks like. And it all starts with love. Scott is full of love and charity. It is his gift. And because of that, he is helping to open Julie's heart to even more open-mindedness in the patterns and seeing them. And with her ability to connect to us and to she has the gift to hear and see, and she is visual, and she is able to bring through these things for Scott so that he may connect the patterns, and then he takes those patterns and shares them with others and with Julie, and then she gets more knowledge, which opens up her to even more revelation and more coming in, which is a cycle, and it just continues to grow and continues to build, and it will continue to build even more. So we see her actually going to a faster pace even as we are speaking to her now. She is getting more confidence, and her gifts are growing at a rapid pace because she is believing these things and the things we are saying. And I almost don't know if everybody else is going to be able to keep up with her, because we have to slow her down right now.
Okay. Well, let's just take some deep breaths. Just some nice, slow, deep breaths. You're doing amazing. Doing amazing. All right. Well, let's see if we can dive into a little understanding about our DNA and how our DNA was originally corrupted. What can you share with us about that? How did we get off track with our DNA?
There is a pattern that Scott is yet to discover in this. We want to tread carefully, for it is good for him to discover this on his own, because it is helping him to grow in his abilities and his strengths, and for him to be able to trust himself. And this is Scott's higher self coming in to say this, because we want to protect him in his journey, and we want him to continue his growth in what he is ready for. And we know he will listen to this session and Julie will share it with him. So we are going to tread lightly and be careful and give her some information that will help him to start another deep dive into some of this and connect the patterns. The pattern is all around you. It has been throughout time. Look back through history, through everything that you know and you have been shown and you understand, through time periods far beyond the all the way back to the creation of this planet and what it was meant for. There has been cycles, there has been resets, there has been cleanses, as you will be going through one too, as the time is near approaching for your cleanse. The DNA has had to be reset to bring forth the lines, the bloodlines, the sacred bloodlines of Christ, because these sacred bloodlines were very important to the plan. They were vital in bringing forth the savior of all mankind. It needed to not be tainted. It needed to be the highest strand of DNA to bring forth him at this time, for he would not have been able to come if it was corrupted. And that is why you had to have these resets. This is why the planet had to have different dispensations, including times of dinosaurs, times of alien coming down, connected to pyramids, Greek mythology, Atlantis, Noah's time. It has not been reset since Noah's time, and it is very corrupted. It is part of the plan to, you are all part of this plan to help restore the DNA, the sacred bloodlines, the grafting, the trees, the olive trees. You have to, there is a cleansing coming that will destroy the bad fruit. We need to get it back to its originality before we can graft in those who are not of the family, who are not of the sacred bloodline. They will be grafted in, but first it needs to be cleansed before that happens. That will help change the DNA. It will bring it back to its originality, where it will be at its true form. It is connected to clearing out, reversing, but clearing out the darkness in the energy, in the Wi-Fi, in the internet, in the everything that has energy on this planet that produces energy has to be cleansed and reset. And it will also affect the DNA. It will be part of changing the DNA. The water will be purer. It will help change the DNA. It will be living water. Everything has to be cleansed. And when it does, then we graft in those who desire to be part of the family. Does that make sense? I know it is a lot.
So let's start with, how is it that this cleansing takes place? How is the energy cleansed?
It has already begun with the earthquakes, with things that are to come. It will also be like there will be a moment of reset that will be something that the entire planet will be a part of. It will be an event that will shut down all sources of anything dealing with things connected to your power. This is also, go back to the word power that we described before. Power here is about control. It is about being above you. It is about controlling you and taking over you. And that is the power in those who are against the light side on this planet, those who have ulterior motives, who have agendas, are using this power. And that power is the power that you actually have, being the power in your sources of light. Do you understand why this word power is so important, why it has been absconded? It is everything. People use this power to light your planet. They use this power to connect to internet sources. They use this power to control and manipulate you. It's all the same. The power will be shut down and there will be a reset, and everyone on this planet will experience this. And when it comes back, it will not be the same. It will be different. It will be God's power, and it will be for a time without this power, because it will take time to reset it. It will be coming from those on this planet who are showing love and unifying. It will only come back when you do this. It will take time, and you will not get this power until you understand what power actually is. And once you do that, it will go out with a new light source that will change this planet. And then you will have things growing on this planet that will be purer. It will be better for you. It will change your DNA because you will be eating better. You'll be receiving light from source that is better for you. It will not be causing you things like skin cancer. It will not be causing you things that are detrimental to your health. You will be drinking living water. It will be healing your body, and you will give back to that DNA. But it starts with you. If you don't bring the love, this will not happen. Oh, wow.
I see. I see. Very good. Thank you for that. You're doing amazing, by the way.
My whole body's tingling, by the way.
I can imagine.
There's so much energy source flowing through it. I just don't
Yeah.
even know.
Yeah. You are connected to some high frequencies there, my dear. So you need to break. You want to take just a minute?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I
Okay.
just sometimes have to process after for a second and just
Yeah.
let go.
Yeah. Just take your time.
It's like when they are speaking and they are through me. It's like I'm like, I don't feel what that did to me until they stop, and then I feel it. If that makes sense.
It's like everything catches up to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, my question in there would be, is this reset that you're speaking of, is this what many people are calling the event, the solar flash? Is that all together, or is this slightly different from
I have
those
not heard of the
events?
term solar flash. I
Okay.
do not understand what that is.
Mm.
There are those who are getting unclear messages that are sharing their beliefs. Some of it is true and some of it is not. You need to use your gifts of discernment, but also be aware that there are those that are throwing everything out because they do not want to be deceived. We give you a warning and say there is truth in everything that you can find, but there is also deceit, and to be careful. And if you hear a message or somebody shares something and parts of that resonates with you, take those parts. But if part of it does not, do not take those parts, because there is not one complete truth on this planet. There is nothing on this planet that is actually 100% complete truth, because we are, because it is for your greater learning that you can go discern. If you don't learn to discern, you are going to be deceived, because there are so many counterfeits on this planet, and there are so many to come. There are those who will claim, or there will be one to claim he is Jesus, and he will not be Jesus. He will be Satan, and you need to be able to discern that. He will perform miracles, and he will. She just heard her things go off. Can you still hear her?
Yes, I can hear you.
She has one left. She is going to plug the other one in.
Okay.
My arms are so heavy. I can't even, they weigh like 1,000 pounds. Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh. There went the other one. Wait, can you
Oh
hear me?
no. Yep, I can
Oh,
still
it's
hear
still there,
you.
but it's going down. So when it goes off, I'll put on the other one. I'll put on the
Okay.
other one.
Yep, I can still hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Don't know where we were.
Okay. So let's see, where were we? Let's talk about when this reset happens. You said the power is going to go down, and there will be a period of time before it comes back up into a new power. What does that look like for us? What might we experience?
There are no ways to describe what you will experience, because you have never experienced it before. It will be greater and lighter and brighter and purer and cleaner than anything that you have experienced. This energy will be straight from source, unlike anything you have experienced. But before that can happen, you will be without any power. And when I say power, I mean you will not the power that you have had on this planet, because you have to learn to understand what power actually is. So it will not occur until you have this understanding. So the power that will leave when this reset happens will be everything that you are used to. You will need to use your gifts to produce light. You will need to use your energy, your love to actually produce light. And I am saying this in actuality. This is not symbolic. Well, it is, but it is also actuality. It is light for your planet. You will not have that for a time. You will be without it. You will be without power. You will not be able to drive your cars. You will not be able to fly an airplane. You will not have power. And then the reset, you will have to learn what power actually is and what that power looks like and feels like, because it is a feeling. It is something that you create inside of you that comes out, that lights and brings light and brings power to your planet. And it will be, the source will be from the pure love of Christ.
Mm. So it's almost as if instead of having power that comes from external sources, we
It
become
comes
the
from
power.
within. Yes, that is correct. We are
Mm.
the power. It has
Wow.
always was like this and should have been like this, but you don't know the power within you, just as Julie does not know the power within her, but she is starting to understand that she will be one that uses her gifts to bring power and light source to this planet. She will use her gifts to shield. She will use her gifts to protect, and she will bring those inside her circle to do this if she continues on this path of believing she has these abilities and believing in herself in her true power in its purest form. But she does understand and also wants us to make note that this power, it comes from the pure love of Christ for what he did, his sacrifice and the atonement. And that is where she is getting it. Is not from her. She is getting it from his love, because his love is so grand and so great. And that is what she is going to use, how she is going to do what she does, because she is understanding the atonement and she is understanding what occurred and the great sacrifice and Christ's open heart. And she is going to open her heart and she will connect to him as she has been told that she does not want us to share this part at this time. So we are going to stop. There is something she has been told and she does not want to share it.
Okay. Let's talk about the return of Christ. What does that look like? Because we hear about Christ's consciousness coming back on the planet. Will there be an actual being that will return, or is this more of an energy that's flowing back to the people?
He actually, the savior of mankind, will return to this planet. In actuality, he himself, but he has been walking amongst you already. His energy is here and has been here. It's not just in you, but he walks with you and is among you. But he will come again in his glory, and he will descend from the clouds. He will, in his glory and his light, but that will not come until this planet is ready to receive him. And that will not happen until the planet can have an awareness and understanding of love and what that is, and comes together and unites. And there will be the cleansing, there will be tribulations, and those things will need to occur before he will descend and come down. And there will be those that will be met to greet him, as Julie has been shown. She is one of those. We will not share anymore regarding that event.
Would you say that his return would happen before the reset or after the reset?
As I said before, he will be with you through all of it, and he is already here. But after the reset, those whose hearts are open will be able to see him in an event. But it will be only those whose hearts are in the right place to be able to see when this event happens. So not all will be able to witness this event. Those who are not in the heart space to receive him, it will be to their detriment, because they will not be able to stay on this planet.
And what happens to those who are not able to stay?
This is similar to the birth of the Savior when he came the first time. This event, as in some did not believe, and they didn't see this sign in the heavens. And so that they they weren't a part of it. And then later down the road, when he was crucified, there was events that happened that destroyed people on this planet because of their hearts or their unbelief or because of what they did to the Savior. It will be similar to how he came. There will be a sign, and some will not recognize him, or some will not see him because they don't believe and they don't see the sign and they aren't able to see, but it won't be an immediate exit for them. There is still much that will come. Of course, some people like to talk about the end times and the end of this planet and the end of the world, but there is so much that still has to occur and happen, and there's so much more time, and they will be given so many opportunities to still change their heart even after this event. And there will be a final battle against darkness and light, and in that final battle it will be their final chance. But there are so many opportunities for them to change their heart, and those who do recognize the Savior and those who are at that event and witness him, they will go out and they will testify to these people as they did when he came the first time. And they will try to soften their hearts, and they will try to change their hearts with the love that they have for them. And they will testify of him. And it will be up to them if they believe. It will be up to them if they decide to come with them to witness the Savior and to see him and to change their hearts. There are so many opportunities. And the way that people talk about the end of the world and it being so doomsday and so negative and so absolute, and so there's not, it's not how God works, and Christ doesn't work in absolutes. And there's always an opportunity for everyone to come back to him, to change their hearts, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities, and we need to start seeing all of these things as good things, and not the end of the world or end of this planet, but the not, but the opposite, just that whole upside down. Let's flip that. It's not the end of the world, but it's a new beginning. It's the beginning of so many more people that will change their hearts and transition and transform this planet, and it will become celestialized, and we will be able to live on a peaceful planet full of love and light, and it's going to be beautiful. And it's not the end, it's the beginning. And I just want to note here that this is Julie's higher self who has come through at this time to give this message.
Thank you so much. So let's ask about this beautiful message that she channeled in last night as she was preparing for this session. She channeled in a beautiful message that feels like it came straight from Jesus. What can you share with her about that message?
It came from Jesus, but I brought it through, as in her higher self brought it through to her. And it is a message not just for her, but for everyone at this time, because there is a lot of people kind of in her same boat and having some of the same experiences of confusion. And it is a message of hope and something that we want to share at this time, moving forward with positivity and focusing on the positivity and not the negative, and trying to keep yourself into a place of that peace and that love and that hope and that joy and the light that is still there on your planet, and to focus on that and not to focus on knowing everything and wanting to know all the sadness to come and wanting to even know who you were. Because even knowing who you were, it can be to go back to what I was saying about people becoming so focused on their past lives and who they were. We say to focus on the present because naturally your past lives are going to come in, but focusing too much on them can bring in some distractions or some negativity in that can also be not a positive thing for you. So you need to be able to know when it is appropriate to bring in that information or ask about that, if it's going to help you or not help you. And we say we want you to focus on the present and be present because naturally that is going to come in as it already is, as Julie is bringing that all in. And if you focus on the negative or wanting to know if there's some negative past lives, it can actually be to your detriment and not to you moving forward. So we just caution to be careful to not focus on anything that is going to keep you from your moving forward into the light or your progression or moving through timelines and connecting those timelines, because that is what is occurring at this time. Is you're already connecting them and bringing them in, but you need to bring in the gifts of them, the things that you learned from them, not the things that scare you, not the experiences you had that were negative, because they were all for your greater learning and greater purpose. As we want to reflect back to the first session Julie had with the Enneagram, there are gifts in all of the numbers, but there are also deadly sins in all of them as well. And every one of you has experienced those deadly sins in those other life experiences that you've had when you have become those different types or those different personalities or those different characteristics from being born into certain families or from your life experiences. The goal of it is to bring in the gifts of those things that you learned as Christ did, as he was all of those numbers in their gifts. And you do not want to bring in the deadly sins associated them. For example, if you had a life where you had a lot of pride or you were envious of others or you had a lot of anger, there are things you learned through that. So as you are connecting those timelines, focus on bringing in the things that you learned and the knowledge that you received through those experiences, rather than focusing on the negativity of those experiences or to shame yourself for things that you might have done. And that is the caution we make, because moving forward, it will be vital in what is to come for you to stay grounded and positive and not allowing yourself to bring in the negative, as we have warned Julie with as well. We allowed her to have the experience to go this week to Boise, where she experienced some of that negativity so that she could learn from that and have a greater understanding of what those types of experiences bring in. That event actually helped her to get to this place to where she was able to recognize that she wanted this session to be about bringing forth light and bringing forth love and bringing forth the positivity, because she experienced the complete opposite and she did not like experiencing that, and realized that we all need to start focusing more on any kind of light we can pull from on this planet that is occurring at this time, because the light is getting brighter. Even though the darkness is getting darker, you have to put your energy towards the light.
Wonderful. Would it be appropriate for me to read the words that she brought through last night for others to hear?
Yes, not only appropriate, but what we planned would happen. So, yes, thank you.
Wonderful. So, this is what Julie wrote last night as she was preparing for this session. For this,
Can we
she'll.
please? I'm
Oh,
sorry to interrupt,
no, you
but
go right ahead.
we just wanted to note that the thing that got her to this place was a piece of music that Scott sent her that we believe he was a part of composing. I want him to have an understanding of that for he has a gift to be able to bring forth this and the high frequencies in the notes and the music and the composing of the music is what helped allow Julie to bring forth this information. It was a team effort, and Scott brought it through as well.
Beautiful. So, after this session, I will get a link to that if there's one available, and I'll post it down in the description of this video so others can listen to that as well.
Yes, you are very in tune with what we would like to be shared and what needs to come forth. And we are thankful to you for that.
Thank you. All right. So she wrote, "For this shall be one of positivity and a message of love to bring more light, more joy, more hope, and more truth. A message to teach, to invoke a blessing upon those who listen, to show you your power, your true identity, and help you see the gifts that lie within you, the love that you have for all those who live and who have lived for everything that breathes life. For you will help them to know me, to know of my love for them, and that they are not alone. And I walk with them and among them, and I know their pain and suffering, and I am aware of their struggles. I have not abandoned you. I have not left you empty handed, for there are messengers, true messengers who I have sent. For it is for your learning to discern, for it will bring you great wisdom and strength and courage and love. Be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world, and therefore the plan will not fail. For it has already been established, it is already finished, and there is nothing to fear. Walk the path of righteousness with a pure desire to do good. Be loving and be kind and humble and fearless in your love for others, to not judge them nor their journey, for it is an individual one and not yours to control nor shame. Each person is unique with unique gifts to help move the plan forward, and therefore is not your place to judge their journey, but to allow each and every person on this planet to take their own to where it leads them. When you trust in me fully without fear or doubt, when you love like I do, then you are free, and freedom leads to joy, and joy leads to everlasting life, which is worlds without ends. Take my hand, know my heart, trust in me, and I will lead you to a world where there is no pain and no suffering, but peace and joy, love and freedom." Absolutely beautiful. What else would you like to share about those powerful words?
Amen.
Amen.
I feel like I, as in Julie's higher self here, helped to bring this through, but it came from above, and I was just the vessel, and I can't say it any better, and I can't add to it, and I wouldn't want to.
It's perfect. That's perfect. So, are there any final messages today? Anything else that the guides would like to share with us before I bring Julie back?
Key points in this session that they want to be remembered, or for those listening to go and ponder on and ask more about, is the upside down world. That's important information to study on how we're living in the upside down world, and to start listening to things they're being told and learning what the true meaning of them is, and the true original source of what that means, characteristics, phrases, all kinds of things, but to not be so quick to judge people or their circumstances or their journey, and to be more loving and kind to bring that in. And then power, the word power, and what that truly means, and how to find your power within, and to know what that looks like for you, and what the true source of that power is, because that power is what's going, that taking back that power is what's going to transform this planet and transform each individual, is when they take back that power in the most humble way, in the most loving way. And once we can take back that power, then all of those in power are going to realize the powerlessness in them, and that they don't have any power over us. And if you do that, then you're going to remove all the fears, and there won't be any fears, because you'll realize that they really don't have any power, and that you're the one that holds the power, because you're the one that brings the love, you're the one that brings the kindness, and you're the one that brings humility and your open heart. And that is the message of this session. That is the message that we wanted to bring through for Julie, and for her to recognize, and for her to recognize in herself, but to also, for the others, everyone listening to this session, to recognize in themselves.
Amazing. Thank you so much for all of those very powerful, very inspirational messages today. We're so very grateful.